for my project, I chose to tackle battling childhood obesity. And here are some statistics and facts about childhood obesity in America. So this has been an ever-increasing problem. Childhood obesity has more than doubled in children and more than quadrupled in adolescents over the last 30 years. And this is an epidemic that leads or potentially leads to just an onslaught of other health problems. Childhood obesity is comorbid with a rise of chronic health problems in youth. Adolescents who are obese are likelier to have prediabetes, joint problems, and other risk factors for cardiovascular disease. Over the years, portion sizes have increased and empty calories consumed have also increased at the same time that activity levels have decreased. So this caloric imbalance has led to weight gain and obesity is again defined as a BMI, a body mass index, which is a height to weight ratio of the 95th or higher percentile. So this is a growing epidemic, and it is time to take a stand to reverse these trends. And again, a look at the numbers, startling numbers. Aside from sleep, time spent watching TV or playing with electronics or video games has become the greatest source of physical inactivity among American children. So to break down an average child's day, about 7 hours are spent at school, about 7.5 to 8 hours are spent in front of the TV or computer or other electronics, and 11 to 12 hours are actually recommended for grade school children to be spent sleeping. So if you're sitting there like I am doing up the math, it adds up to more than 24 hours in a day. And that's not even factoring in transportation to and from school, meals, and homework. And what about physical activity? Where does that fit in? Why are these young children spending nearly a third of their day in front of video games or electronics or watching TV? Why is this happening? Children and adolescents who are obese are likely to become obese as adults and are therefore going to be at risk for health problems such as heart disease, type 2 diabetes, stroke, cancer, and osteoarthritis. And again, these are starting to become more prevalent in children, not just adults. So this is leading to a lifetime of health problems, medications, and just an unhealthy state. And that's not good physically, emotionally, or socially, especially for these children in those critical ages where self-esteem, body image, self-worth are, again, influenced by their peers. So negative stigmatization, stereotyping, discrimination, bullying, marginalization, these kinds of things will affect the overall well-being of a child. But the good news is the cause is also the cure. So by increasing the physical activity and increasing the healthy eating, we can undo and reverse and prevent these epidemics of obesity and other health risks. And increasing these healthy activities has been linked to academic success and overall health and well-being, again, physically, emotionally, and socially. And is also linked with a decrease in the risk for obesity and a decrease in the risk for chronic disease. So again, good for health, long life, quality of life. And according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, a healthier diet could prevent at least $71 billion per year in medical costs, lost productivity, and lost lives. Again, this kind of relates more towards adults in terms of days missed at work, but also in terms of children, test scores, and just missing school, being behind in homework and behind in classwork. And these are all important things as well. So taking an early start and taking a more proactive effort to live a healthy lifestyle that will prevent chronic health problems rather than waiting until after the fact to go back and undo the damage. So my proposal here is going to vary from community to community, but this is the basic model. Um, Community-based research can analyze the needs from county to county or city to city or community to community, and then expand from a local level further beyond. So these are based on the basic principles of collaborative efforts between the local communities and the school-age children, the schools, and their families as well, and using schools or community centers to host physical activity based activities such as before or after school activities, a bi-weekly sports week, or sorry, a sports day that will be available for all community children to participate in. And the goal here again is to involve the community and to make physical activity fun and engaging to the children. More help and support from the community might be necessary for adherence in certain demographics and certain local communities. And this is where the local establishments can really shine and kind of give back to the members who drive in their revenue. The most important thing is to make it fun. Children are more likely to participate in physical activity if they're having fun doing it. You know, exercise should not be seen as punishment. It should not be something to dread. It should be something that children look forward to and are engaged in, and it doesn't necessarily have to cost an arm and a leg. Here's some fun and cost-effective activities. Capture the flag, kickball, relay races, bowling or skating activities, walkathons, jump rope-a-thons, fun runs. Those can even be fundraisers to give back to the community and the schools, or local sponsors can help raise money for these causes. So there are a few obstacles which again will vary from community to community setting, but the major ones would be money and access. So this is definitely a resource-based policy adherence. So without the right tools, adherence will be impossible and the whole model will kind of fall apart. So if daily physical education is not an option in the schools due to budget, other options must be provided to get these kids physical activity on a day-to-day basis. There's absolutely no need for them to spend a third of their day watching TV when they could be doing something physical. So this is where the community can collaborate and really step up and provide the individual what it needs and the individual community what it needs. So again, the obstacles will vary from community to community. So this will be a program that functions on a local level and can't be a cookie cutter community because obviously every community has its own strengths and weaknesses and obstacles. So that would be next. So moving on to the nutrition side of the school system. So sometimes health is just a matter of convenience. So if these, again, kind of going back into resource-based, if the resources are available and accessible, children are likelier to make those choices. So providing better quality school lunches and breakfasts when applicable will help ensure that children are being properly nourished and eating a balanced meal at school. So whatever happens at home, schools can't control that. We hope that they are able to get those healthy meals, but if 1 or 2/3 of their day are spent at school, the schools can be, they can ensure that those meals are healthy. And for many students in certain populations, those might be the only fruits and vegetables that those kids ever have. So taking initiative to make sure that the schools are doing their due diligence for promoting a healthy diet. And again, just making healthy meals appealing to children and partnering a lot of schools, especially in Maryland. Maryland has done very well with the Farm to School initiative. and it's fifth actually in the country in terms of local produce utilized. Um, and also the schools are just they're doing a lot more to conform to dietary guidelines in terms of calories and portion sizes for those students in their school meals. Um, so this really gives the schools an opportunity to teach students about healthy eating and practicing healthy eating, and also physical activity behaviors at school. So a lot of schools, again, are taking strides to better their students. So here is actually brand new policy starting this year, 2014-2015 school year. All foods sold at school during the school day have to meet nutrition standards. This is part of the Smart Snacks in School regulation, and this applies to foods that are sold a la carte in the school store and in vending machines. So healthier beverage options during the school day, and more portion sizes that are appropriate based on the children's age. So again, you can see the breakdown in terms of the old and new standards of foods that are appropriate. You can see the empty calories have been reduced and more substantial meals being provided at school, and snacks and beverages. So here are some other strategies to help students children throughout the day while they're in school. So providing access to free and clean drinking water. So not only is this promoting hydration, but the beverages that they are drinking, if they're drinking more water, this means that what they aren't drinking are the sodas, the sugary drinks, and other calorie-laden beverages. So fostering a healthy lifestyle comprised of healthy, wholesome foods and physical activity at an early age, which also helps prevent and reverse childhood obesity, and also encouraging kids to live a healthy and active lifestyle outside of school. So establishing some safe places and facilities for physical activity, again, after school activities, or again, those biweekly sports days. So, children have so much energy, and they should not be spending the majority of their waking hours in front of electronics. It's not going to promote any kind of health productivity. That's not going to give them an outlet for that energy either. So schools and community centers can collaborate together for the common good to provide those spaces for children. Other tips are avoiding the use of food or exercise as reward or punishment. Not only is this just not a good idea, but it can foster unhealthy relationships with food and exercise in the future. Schools who participate in the Farms to Schools can also form some more personal relationships with the farmers that are providing their food. So whether this is, again, because the farms are spread out, maybe bringing the farmers to the classroom or the students to the farm, just to get a more hands-on approach of where food comes from. We are so removed from that right now that giving kids a hands-on experience can help them visualize where their food is coming from. And here's a couple of organizations of note, kind of local and a little bit beyond. So first, the Maryland Farm to School. Great initiative. Maryland actually does rank 5th in the nation for the amount of local food served in schools, with about 21% of the school food budget spent on local Maryland-grown products. So, yay, Maryland. Next is the Let's Move program, which was created by First Lady Michelle Obama. So this is an initiative that is all about putting children on the path to a healthy future. So this involves not only the children themselves, but parents, and also just putting a heavy emphasis on the community as a whole. So not only providing healthier foods in schools, but also ensuring that families have access to healthy, affordable food and physical activity for children and families altogether.